I had to advocate for my son in a way that I never learned to advocate for myself. All right, so I have a little story time for y'all. Me and my son's father, I don't want to say got into it, but it was one of those days where I decided I'm going to just let him know what it is. I've done a lot of let me not say too much. Let me spare his feelings. Little history, little side note. Me and my son's father never were in a relationship. It was one of them things. But I always try to handle it with respect to the situation and respect with his life, what he got going on, as long as my life was respected. I mean, either way, that's how I move. I'm going to respect other people. If they don't respect me, okay, cool, then I need to adjust. But that wasn't always who I was. A lot of who I am today has a lot to do with that man and how I've had to learn to set boundaries, because if I didn't, I would get eaten up. And I'm not saying that there isn't moments that I haven't been eaten up, but I had to learn to advocate for myself, to speak up, because if I didn't, who was going to do that for my son? I couldn't be silent. I couldn't be passive. I had to become somebody that I did not necessarily want to become. I had to become the parent that my son needed. I had to advocate for my son in a way that I never learned to advocate for myself. Going back to that video I sent y'all earlier, that's exactly why I let him advocate for him. I let him speak up. I let him have a voice, because I never want him to feel like he can't advocate for himself. He can't speak up. He can't say how he feels. Sometimes he may have moments where he don't feel confident, but there's moments where he finds the courage. Do I wish sometimes it could be roses and unicorns and like his dad handled him in a delicate way, and listen, son, my dad treated me this way. I get it. Like, I want to be different. I do wish that sometimes. But on the flip side, I'm appreciative of the conflict, because it is teaching my son to find that courage to be like, yeah, nah, I'm not going for that. I'm going to go to church with this one. Sometimes what we think is trauma is really a testimony. You just got to find perspective in it. It's as simple as that. All that adversity, all that conflict is really building your character. Continue to develop, continue to grow, continue to welcome the conflict. If your life's chaotic, you got to learn to set boundaries, right? We shouldn't be having conflict, chaos every day. Like, we still want a peaceful life. But the only way you're going to get good at resolving conflict is if you learn to deal with it. It's just like a football player. A football player is not going to be effective if he's afraid of getting tackled. You cannot be afraid of the conflict. You literally have to put your shoulder down and run through it. Not in an aggressive way. Like, we don't want to hurt other people, right? We want to be a skilled tackler. We want to tackle it with skill. We want to tackle it with poise. We want a clean hit, right? We still want to be clean in the way we're doing things, but we don't want to run away from it, because when you run away, that's when you really get hurt. And sometimes those injuries are long term. I had to also correct things with my son, because sometimes when his father be trying to say stuff about my son, it gets in my head about who my son is, and I can't let that happen. This is just me being honest, right? With him, do I advocate for my son? Absolutely. But when behind closed doors, it's me and my son Mace, it gets thick. I'm like, yo, I need you to be honest with me, because I'm a Cancer, right? Tell me the truth. I can deal with the truth. That doesn't mean I'm not going to advocate for you if you tell me the truth. It just means I already know what's good. That's fine. I'm aware of that. So when I advocate for you, I'm advocating based off truth. But it's a lot for a 12-year-old. But I do trust, soon to be 13, I do trust, because I see his development, I do see his growth. And I do believe, and I want to say this specifically, when it comes to parenting, everything's about balance. I don't stay in my emotions too long. I'm not upset. I'm not holding grudges with him. My son knows that we can argue 1 second and I'm going to come to repair. Hey, let's circle back. Hey, let's reconnect. It's never going to give, I'm mad at you, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you don't lie to me, getting warped, staying in a warp and a cycle of being upset or frustrated, right? So when I'm explaining these situations about, hey, my son had these tough conversations, there's always repair. Ain't no going 24 hours without repair. It's hard for me to say these are traumatic experiences. Is it frustrating? Is it making my brain stretch and my emotions rise? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also see how it's making me a better communicator, how it's making me a better mom, how it's making me show up in ways that if I didn't have those experiences, I would have never had to show up. So I'm cool with it. Yeah, that's my story time for today. Story time / lesson, because ADD and I be going off track and all that stuff. So I hope y'all pick up what I'm putting down. And I'm going to catch y'all next time. Peace.